Hello, my name is David Petti, CEO of Kayo3PL. Today I'm going to explain to you how our free trade zone works, how it could help you in this terrible tariff time, and what we can do to help possibly even save your business. So let me explain how this works. We have a licensed free trade zone in Canada. We have applied with the Canadian government. It's taken months and months to get, but they actually have granted us an access to be a extension of Canadian Customs and Border Protection Agency. So what you're going to do is you're going to import your goods from, say, China to our free trade zone here in Canada. You're not going to pay any Canadian duty or US duty upfront at all. Okay. So zero duty into my free trade zone here in Canada. So if you were to import, say, $1 million worth of goods to a US location, and the duty right now for Chinese made goods is about 200%, you would actually pay $2 million more on the cost of your goods. So $1 million cost, $2 million in tariff, $3 million total. But when you import it to my Canadian free trade zone, you're not paying that $2 million upfront. Okay. So how does that help you? Well, it does a few things for you. Number one, saves you from cash flow hell. Who has $2 million right now to pay just in tariffs? Not many. Okay. So for many brands and many clients, they're literally facing extinction due to these high tariffs and trade wars that are going on right now. So with our system, you don't have that problem. Your cash flow situation becomes so much better. All right. The second important thing of why a free trade zone through Kayo3PL could be of great benefit to you. It shields you from the tariff war that's going on right now. So for example, if you're importing $1 million right now, today, into America, you'll pay 200% duty. But what if 6 months from now, the trade war goes down a bit in terms of temperature and the duty rate from China is, say, 50%? Well, your competitors will probably import their items at 50% a duty at those times. Now you're stuck with inventory that you paid 200% on. Okay. So that's not good for you. Our free trade zone shields you from these variable tariff rates that are going on right now because you're only paying the tariff when we ship it within the US. Okay. You can bring it in today, even though the tariff rate into the US is 200%. If I ship it next week and the tariff rate's 50%, you'll only pay 50%. Okay. So the system allows us to bill you back the duty on a per order basis into the US. So it defers your duty from that upfront payment to a per order basis or per sale. Okay. Finally, the third important thing why a free trade zone in Canada through KL3PL could help you is what happens if you import that $1 million into the US, you pay your $2 million in tariffs, and unfortunately, you don't sell half of your inventory. Well, you're in trouble because $500,000 worth of inventory costs you're going to dispose of, and $750,000 in tariff costs that you paid on that, you're just going to throw away into the garbage. Okay. With our free trade zone in Canada, if you don't sell half your goods and you want to dispose of them, you're only going to be out the cost of the goods, not the US tariff, because you haven't paid those US tariffs upfront for that product. The fourth reason why a free trade zone in Canada makes so much sense for you is this. If you're importing your goods into America right now, you're going to be paying American tariffs. But when you ship it an order internationally, you have to eat that tariff cost. Okay. If you ship it to my free trade zone in Canada, you're not paying duties up front. If we ship any international orders, you don't have to eat that tariff cost. Okay. So your margins stay healthier and you can be more profitable. Okay. So keep in mind, when we ship our US shipments, we actually use all US major carriers. In this example, United States Postal Service. Okay. What we do is we clear these shipments over the border every day using our transportation trucks. So your goods are coming into Canada, into my free trade zone. They're being stored here, and we can ship all of your US orders using all domestic US carriers. And the ship from address actually has our New York address on it. Okay. The clients, the customers in the US who receive your packages do not pay brokerage. They do not pay tariffs. They do not pay disbursement fees, and they don't pay the postal service surcharges that have recently been introduced as well. None of those fees apply. So you get the advantage of being able to ship domestically in the US without having to pay US tariffs upfront. Okay. So that's the powerful advantage of our system. It's completely legal. It's been approved by U.S. Customs Border Protection Agency. It's been approved by Canadians Borders Protection Agency. It's a very common thing. There are U.S.-based free trade zones, and they do very, very similar work to what we're doing here. There's one exception. The exception is this. When your product enters a U.S. free trade zone, you have to actually write down the tariff percentage used at that time. Okay. And when you pull the goods out of a U.S. free trade zone, you don't pay the tariff at the moment you pull the goods. You pay the tariff the moments the goods entered your free trade zone. Okay. So if you bring it in $1 million at 200% tariff today into a U.S. Free trade zone, whenever you pull that out, could be tomorrow, 6 months, 5 years from now, you have to pay the 200% tariff at that moment. With our system, you don't have those problems. Okay. So that's one big advantage now to using the free trade zone out of Canada. Here at Kayo3PL, we could do all of your 3PL fulfillment. We can do your US and Canada orders. We can defer your duty. We can shield you from the tariff war going on right now. And we can help you survive this. We can help you survive this by freeing up your cash flow and allowing you to weather the tariff storm. Thank you for your time. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me. I'm more than happy to talk to you about your individual needs. Thank you.